It's time for the Switched at Birth After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We're talking Season 5, Episode 4, Relations of Lines and Colors. We have so much to talk about. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the Switched at Birth After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com/AFTERBUZZ TV. Hit subscribe. Man, I feel like a woman. I'm Yael Tygiel. I am your host. I'm joined by Kelsea Hightower.
Hello. Hi, guys. I'm Kelsea Hightower. And
That's what I said.
That's close enough. Call me... Well, don't call me whatever, but you can find me on social media at Kelsea Hightower, and I am excited to talk about this episode. I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad you're back as well. With us as always, you won't get to see her. She's waving. The voice in the chat, Becca B. Tux TV. That's it?
Yes.
That's it. Becca's in the chat with your comments. I'm messing up everybody's name today. I'm Yael Tygiel. That much I got. You can tweet at me at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I'm sure I spelled that right. Before we begin, I want you all to know that while the story you saw is not based on incidents that happened in Kansas City, it was inspired by real events that occurred on college campuses all over the country. Thoughts on the warning of this episode?
I feel like that was in the middle of the episode.
It was at the beginning and in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
It happened twice.
It happened twice. Once I think would be fine, you know.
At the beginning?
At the beginning. That's normally, you know, it kind of broke it up a little bit in the middle, and it took me out of it for a second, because I was like, wait a second, are we starting over? What's it? Halftime, intermission, you know, what's going on? But
yeah, the truth is if
one's fine, I think.
If they are going to learn anything from Law & Order Special Victims Unit, it's that you put the advisory at the beginning that these stories are not based on real people, and therefore you can't sue. And that's where you start it, and you move on.
Yep, as long as it's in there.
Yeah. I think, I wonder if the chat people found it interesting that there was a warning. No one cares. Yes?
Pause for dramatic effect.
I imagine they did it to make sure you, in case you didn't get bad association.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Reputation.
The question is there a UMKC? I think there's a KCU. I don't know. I'm making
trying
guesses
to remember because
Yes?
yeah, I think. Go on.
Whatevs.
We'll move on.
Regardless, yes.
And then Gabriel said that he couldn't read it so fast.
Yeah,
So,
I paused to read it. It was long. That's not how you do these things.
yeah.
I get the idea. I get the idea that they want us to know that this didn't happen at this school, but it did happen.
Right.
That's a good argument. But before we get into all of that, because that's a huge issue, let's talk about Catherine's storyline this week. Because I was proud of her, right? She is working in a man's world, and she was like, I'll play ball a little bit. But when he crossed the line, she was like, I'm done. And I appreciated that.
I liked her comeback there as well, because if you've ever been in that situation or kind of like felt uneasy or something like that, it's like, how do you handle that sort of thing? You know, she's stuck there at a business meeting, you know, trying to be professional, and then, you know, she's getting hit on left and right. How do you approach that, but also do it with grace? And
You think what she did was with grace?
no, I wouldn't say that, but it was a good example to like see how she handled that. You know, she came back at him, guns blazing, and was like, "Look, I'm confronting exactly what you're thinking, and let's do it right here. You know, like let's have sex. Let's do it right here. That's exactly what you're thinking. That's what you're playing games about." And she just called him out on it, and I was like, yeah, Mama Catherine.
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really good of her to stand up for herself. I think the whole conversation early on with Catherine and Regina about, do I do this? Is it okay? Is this sexual harassment? Yes, it is sexual harassment. You are being sexually harassed at work, especially the way that it ended up, especially where he says to her, you want to play with the big boys, you got to get with the program. She has a lawsuit now. That's what she has. And absolutely, I support her suing that man.
Just a slime ball, you know? And
yeah.
So, I mean, that was a really great way that she handled it. I'm on board too, so.
I wish she would have worn a leggier dress. Like the man said, he's a leg man.
Yeah.
Your-
I feel
the
like
dress
that's
was
kind of
pretty
her
long.
going back and forth as far as like, should she do it or not do it when she was talking to Regina about it. And so maybe that was kind of her in between. Cause I was like, did she wear pants? Did she wear a dress? You know?
She wore a dress,
Well, yeah,
and
I
it
know,
was
but-
long.
Yeah. it
Girl,
was.
he's a leg man. You wear a short dress.
Well, maybe she didn't want to play that game.
Anyone from the chat?
Gabriel Haywood says, I thought she did the right thing by chasing the guy off. And then Colleen said the guy was creepy, which he crossed like a billion lines. So,
First of all, like when you're flirting, you don't just touch people. He also like was such a chauvinist.
He was
before.
going for the necklace. He touched the necklace.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, I have a habit when
would've
people reach their
screamed.
hand out like
Don't
that,
touch
to
me!
just smack them.
Get away! Stranger danger!
Yeah,
Don't touch.
I can't wait to see where that storyline goes because I feel like they set it up where that boss or coworker, I don't know what he is. He is
He
said
was a
to her.
donor.
No, not the pervert. The guy. Her
Oh,
boss,
yeah,
her
coworker.
Coworker. He has made these types of jokes with her before. So I can't wait to see where it goes, and I hope it goes to a lawsuit because she absolutely would win. Hands down, that is a winnable lawsuit right there. I know the fans are gonna die if we don't do this now. So
Let's do it.
let's talk about Bemet. Our voice of the chat has a giant smile on her face now.
There she is.
Yeah. So Emmett wants to get a tattoo for a class assignment.
That's dedication to schoolwork right there, you know.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yes.
So
It's just a way for him. You know how Emmett is, you know. It's like
Yeah.
a way for him to have an excuse to get, see Bae
yeah.
and talk to her and be alone with her.
I think that he was right to be like, you need to ask Travis first. I think it was kind of messed up of Bae to not. I get that Travis is going through some stuff and that it wasn't a good time, but like then you don't do it until you've talked to Travis.
Right. I mean, that's a big thing to do, and it seems so sneaky. I mean,
Yeah.
it was sneaky.
Right. But like you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, you
I get
talk
it.
to each other.
I'm with you.
She's an adult now.
Yeah.
They're 20. Mm-hmm. But Bae, grow up. Mm-hmm. You do what's right.
Do what's right.
Yeah.
She always gets herself into these little predicaments just in the middle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but for once I am on Emmett's side where I'm like, you know, he stood up and he was like, did you tell Travis or, you know, whatever it was. And he was trying to do the right thing this time. And like, you know, not that he hasn't before, but it's just like, you know, I'm on his side. I get it. And then I'm also on Travis's side where he got so mad about it. It's like he had the right to be mad about it. She didn't tell him, and he's going through all of that stuff with baseball. He's having a
Especially
rough time.
Toby told her, like, get out ahead of it. Tell him right away.
She
Tell him
was
there's-
warned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bae's being dumb.
I forgot Toby was even in this episode, first of all, because he was in it for like one
Split second.
It was unnecessary.
Hey guys, I'm still here. Don't forget.
Yeah. And then he's like, bye. Giselle says that whenever Bae is happy in a relationship, Emmett shows up.
I mean, sometimes she's in the relationship with Emmett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Emmett 2.0 shows up.
Yeah.
On the other side of it.
So she goes to Dr. Travis when he's working out. And I really need to talk about this workout scene.
Okay, she did. Yeah. You have some things to say.
I have a lot of things to say. Well, you are reading for the chat, Missy. Only the chat may speak through you. So make people up. But so Travis is doing this workout. And at first I was like, ooh, Mingo. Nope, not Mingo.
Not Mingo.
So when he's like, he's been
Mingo's
working.
fine.
Yeah, Mingo is so good.
I know.
But Travis.
Let's take a moment.
Travis has been like working his tail off to impress John, to get back on the team, to deal with this Chris issue. Chris is a dick. I'm just saying it. Chris is a dick. Regardless of if he's better or worse, he's a dick.
He
Anyone?
was mean in this episode. I'll say that. I like him though.
He was such a
He
dick.
was so mean. He was so mean.
But
Sorry.
so Travis
I
is
can't
working
help
out.
it.
He's trying real hard, and Bay is like, no one has like. You can't physically be in a better shape. Wrong. So wrong. No offense to Ryan
I
Lane,
was thinking that.
who plays Travis, who is a handsome man.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely could be in better shape. I'm not saying he's not in good shape. I just want it pointed out that he could be better.
Bay was just trying to be a good girlfriend and say the right thing. Like, oh, hey, sweet honey, you're so smart and handsome. You're just in the best shape of your life, you know?
He might be in the best shape of his life, but she said you could not be in better shape, and that is wrong.
Yeah. Well, she was just trying to be a good girlfriend for once. It didn't work. It went downhill, but, you know, that one moment, she had a moment.
She had a moment.
I think she was trying because, like, bringing up the whole Bay didn't ask Travis thing because she was trying to get on his good side. And Greg said that he knew as soon as Bay didn't tell Travis that Travis was going to find out.
Of course he was going to find out.
Yeah.
But that
Yep,
moment
you're right,
where
Greg.
Travis, like, tries to make amends, to, like, go and be with Emma and go, we don't have to talk about anything. I'm here to play video games. Like, what a good move.
That was a good friend.
guy.
Okay, so I have a fun fact for you guys. Also, I should have started this episode maybe with a slide card, and then this is our intermission with a second slide card. But I did.
What is happening here?
Okay, I know.
She's taking over
Surprise.
the show.
Only for 2 seconds.
Go.
Surprise, I worked on Switched at Birth, which I didn't mention the first time, but I think I should be up front to all the fans out there watching our podcast. I did work in the wardrobe department as an assistant. So a fun fact that I have for this is I remember this day vividly when the script called for his shirt to come up and reveal the tattoo, and the t-shirt that we had, it was like up to the elbows, and it wouldn't show the tattoo. So we were like scrambling to grab a t-shirt that was short enough, but also a button-up to reveal that moment. It was a very important moment, and it was a scramble because the shirt, you would be surprised, it went down to the elbow, and that was, it wasn't working. It was crazy. It was madness. But
That
yeah,
is a fun fact.
it's a fun fact. So there you go to all the listeners for that little moment.
Thank you, Kelsea.
I, had a panic attack as soon as I saw that. I was like, is it gonna work? Like, like we would have shot it to work. That's TV. But, in my mind, I was like, is it working this time?
That's so fun. Especially because I remember looking at that shirt and being like, Emmett would never wear that shirt.
The sleeves, and you could tell they were rolled a little bit. We had to do that to make it visible.
I'm so amused.
So go back and watch that part again. They're a little rolled right there. So
That's really, really amusing. Thank you.
to the fans, not you.
I
didn't mean you.
I am a fan.
I know, me too.
For those who aren't watching, my face is glowing. I'm so excited. I love fun facts like
So
this.
that's my nugget for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So good. So Travis finds out and goes and approaches Bay, and we have this big fight. Real quick, it's a real quick big fight where she basically is like, fine, I'm done being his friend if that's what you want, and then she goes back to him and is like, this is over, you are manipulating the situation. And first of all, good for Bay for finally noticing, and second of all, this is not going to end well, right? This triangle is going to become a bigger mess.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there's that Noelle thing. Oh, before we get to the Noelle thing, Ryan, one of our wonderful listeners, Ryan, tweeted at me his thoughts. And he thinks that Travis shouldn't have forced Bay to end the friendship, but he also thinks that tattooing an old friend isn't wrong. And I think that that's true, that what Bay did, the action was not wrong.
Right.
But the fact that she never told Travis was.
Yes, I agree with that.
And that Travis shouldn't have forced them to end their friendship, but Bay was right to do it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That was very well put and encompasses, I think what I'm thinking, and a lot of others are too.
Yeah.
We have some advice for Bay on the chat.
Oh,
Bay,
yes.
just stay single.
Agreed.
Billie Jean.
I remember, in high school,
Yeah.
or like, you always think of that friend that's just like, girl, you could just stay single for like,
For a while, for like 2 weeks.
try a week. Yeah.
Like, figure it out.
I know. Just enjoy yourself for a second. Just try being single. That's
Yeah.
for Bay.
Oh, and someone, all caps, Bay does not have a permit.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, when Emmett asked her, like, why aren't you tattooing? You've been doing it for 6 months or
In
whatever
China.
it was. She didn't respond because I don't have a permit here.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
legally I can't.
Legally, I can't do this. I mean,
Whatever.
yeah. But it happens. I grew up in a small town, and I knew a lot of friends who just tattooed without permits or anything. Just tattooed at each other. They're like, I need to practice. And they all just, you know. They look so bad, though. Bay's doing a good job for, this being our first
US one?
Yeah. It's like drinking legally.
Right. I also, when Emmett's getting the tattoo, I'm like, girl, you're sitting there real calm for needles going into you repeatedly. Trust me, you're not that calm.
I know.
Like, you would be in pain.
I will note, though, that on the camera that he was using, he had that little clicker in his hand
Yeah,
to
the
take a
remote?
picture. How handy is that?
Oh, you don't have one of those?
A clicker for my camera?
Yeah.
Sure don't.
I do.
You guys
they're
are so
great.
fancy. I'm living
I
in
am fancy.
the old.
2017 here.
Yeah, but the photo that he takes, the last one where they're looking at each other. First of all, girl, if you're tattooing him, look at the gosh darn tattoo that you're working on. Stop looking at him.
I know, with those googly eyes.
And second of all, he can't sign to her because he's not supposed to be moving. So, like, unless he's telling her to stop, I just had issues.
There's a lot of
Tattoo
things.
logistic issues. Yes, from the chat.
One, I have issues about love triangles. Two, wait. Greg says tattooing an old friend isn't wrong, but Emmett isn't just an old friend.
That's true.
It is true.
That is a good point.
We hear you, Greg.
We do hear you, Greg. So,
Oh, another?
And
Yes.
also for Kelsea, Jacqueline wants to know what seasons you worked on the show for.
Oh, season 4 and 5, and the end of season 3.
oh.
Yeah.
fun
Under
fact.
costume designer Courtney Stern. There you go.
Shout
That's all I
outs
have.
on the air. Shout outs. All right, quickly, the Noelle thing where Bay is all like, Noelle would never steal. Like,
Right.
she's super original. She's
Yes.
so amazing. And then she stole designs, which
You
is
can't
not
trust
so-
anybody.
Yeah. I can't help trust her. She's so pretty.
I know.
I love her.
I trust pretty people.
Yeah. Noelle distracts me with her beauty.
She is beautiful.
Yeah. So when this turns into a big blow up, I can't wait. Because
Yeah,
that's like
it's
setting
coming.
up something. It's going to
Yeah.
be great. All right. Before we switch gears to the big issues, the Daphne, Iris, Black Student Union situation,
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a moment to thank everybody. Thank you so much to everyone who is here. Thank you to everyone who's live in the chat with our voice of chat, Becca. Becca, do you want to read off some names of people who are here?
If I butcher any names, sorry.
That's okay. That's the theme of the day, I think.
It's her problem.
We're fine.
Go on.
Alicia Lee, 19, Billie Jean Girl, Aliyah, Jasmine Jones.
Welcome, guys.
I know.
Jacqueline, Gisela.
Awesome.
Maya,
Jacqueline,
And Greg?
Gisela.
Greg.
Cool.
Greg.
Well, thank you so much to everyone who's live in the chat. Thank you, everyone watching us live. We also ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes, subscribe. It's the final season. You don't want to miss a single episode. We ask you to rate and review. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, I guess that's fine. You can give us 4 stars. We'll accept that. The other stars, 1 through 3, they don't work, so don't worry about it.
Yep.
And if you write a comment, if you bang on your keyboard, I will read it live on the air. That is my promise to you, and I'm going to do that right now.
Do.
So we have a 5-star review from
Woo-woo!
Joanneth07. Love it, 5 stars. I really enjoy listening to the podcast. I love you guys. That you guys are huge fans of the show. It makes the podcast episode that much more enjoyable. I'm sad that this is the last season, but I'm glad we can all go through this together. Love you guys. We love you too. And GBRL123.
GBRL123. Woo!
Yeah, gives us 5 stars.
Yay! Yay!
and hopes that this review shows up on iTunes, and it did. Even though this is only my second favorite podcast, ouch. It also then says, please don't stop reading. Ooh, that's offensive. I'm kidding. This is the one where I laugh the most, so therefore we are now your favorite. I enjoy this podcast I joined this podcast halfway through the 4th season, and just love hearing conversations both the hosts had. I love this podcast so much that I went all the way back and listened to all of them, even when it was just Yael and Melina. Guys, there used to be someone named Melina who did this show with me. She's wonderful. A lot of your predictions are extremely wrong. Yep. But some were spot on. I have a habit of doing that. Hannah freaking knew Josh was gay the day he appeared. That's true. She did know that. I didn't. My favorite thing about the show, however, is how they shamelessly comment on how the hot guys are and the kind of clothing the cast is wearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
already happened today.
For future people who try to write reviews, Yael is right. The other stars do not work. I'm telling you guys. The first time I tried to write a review, I accidentally pressed 3 stars, and everything got wiped from my computer. It took the whole hiatus for my computer to recover. That's so funny.
I like this person.
Yeah, me too. And I'm just now able to write this review. Thank you, ladies, for putting on an amazing show. I hope you get at least one more person on the main cast on the podcast before it ends. I agree. So we would love to get more people joining us in the studio, more cast members. We ask you to tweet at them, harass them on Twitter. I did not give you that instruction, but do it. And we'll work it out from our end. You work it from yours. That's how we got DW here. Mr. Dilf himself, John Kennish, was here because the fans were like, Yael's in love with you. So do that. Tell people I'm in love with them. All right, let's talk about this Daphne Iris BSU situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Here we go. Diving in.
Yeah, there were cotton balls on the grass at the BSU, the Black Student Union. The people who did it got 3-day suspension and a ticket for littering, which is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Daphne receives a threat in form of a flyer, the person gets expelled.
Mm-hmm.
This leads to Iris's hunger strike. And we bring back our old friend, Professor Morello.
Yes.
I like that the show is tackling the issues. I like that we are finally actually tackling an issue, right? Like, this is actually a problem.
Mm-hmm.
This is blatant racism.
Yeah.
And Cherie standing up and getting part of it, getting involved in it, and being like, this is racism. I feel unsafe.
Yeah.
What you felt with the flyer is what I felt when I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And telling Daphne, Daphne, who sticks her nose in everybody's business.
Yeah, she does that.
Right? Oh my goodness. I got so frustrated. And when Iris was like, stop, this isn't about you, I went,
refreshing.
Yeah. What did you think?
I know. It's just with Daphne, I mean, it's like she's trying to help and she just makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an eye opener, I guess, from, it's like with people trying to help or just, they think that they're helping and that they're being helpful. But then she gets Iris into trouble, when she tells Professor Morello. And then Iris's dad hears about the hunger strike, and it's just like Daphne is like, I was trying to help, and she was like, you made it so much worse than it was. Like, I have this, I can do this. Like, let me be in charge of this. Let me do this because you don't have a clue. Like, you don't know how this feels and what's going on and stuff. So it's just it's interesting. It's
what bugs me, I think, the most is that up until recently, Daphne has been kind of, she's from East Riverside, she is Latina, like, she understands these kind of struggles, but it's as though her trip to China and her return has like made her forget her childhood and growing up and where she came from. And now she's like, well, I don't understand. I'm a wealthy white girl. I don't understand how this works. And that's not Daphne. The character feels off. The fact that she's sticking her nose in everybody's business feels right on.
Right, exactly.
That is what Daphne does. But the fact that she's not understanding and that Cherie goes, of course you don't understand, feels off. It feels more bae to me.
True. Yeah. That I can see that too. Yeah, but even I'm trying to think. Even her living in East Riverside. I mean, yes, she did feel that, but it's not like she has the same history as like Iris or Cherie.
Absolutely,
or anything.
but the when she started going to school at Buckner, for example, she was not. You know,
it was
she was
out of place. Yeah, exactly.
And as a deaf woman, like she understands things that that Bay definitely doesn't. It feels like they went. We want to do this story. Bay's busy with this other
she's
stuff.
got other stuff going on, so we'll make Daphne be this person.
Right. But then when she finally joins Iris, when she's like, "Can I sit with you?" Yes, Daphne.
Yeah, I liked that.
You don't say stuff to people. You don't go and try to talk to the people. That's her job. That you don't speak for her.
Right. But she was trying to like be a fix-it.
Right.
You know?
Supporting her, you can do that.
Right.
Yeah. People in the chat have thoughts.
People in the chat have lots of thoughts right now. They all had very mixed feelings about the professor.
Yeah.
Gabriel. I didn't think she felt. I didn't think she was sincere either.
Morello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to revisit the clinic credits. We're going to revisit that. Basically, shut up and go away, and we'll give you your credits.
Right.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Well, and with, the probably everything else that she was saying to Iris as well. With, Iris wanted, the boys to be expelled, and she's just not getting it. And then she like grabbed the microphone or the
megaphone.
Yeah, what are they called? Megaphones?
Yep. That's a megaphone.
Okay. Grab the megaphone.
For those who aren't watching, she just did a megaphone.
Grab that from Cherie, and then that was like, whoa, why would you even
why would you
touch
grab
that? I don't know. That's not like something that you would do as a Professor Morello. I don't know. You're just like, you would walk away or you would do something.
You would get security to do it.
Yeah, and then that whole tiff happened, and I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, so. It escalated real quick.
Yeah.
I think it totally made sense to me that Morello was like, you have full right to gather and protest, and you cannot camp out.
Right.
That's such a college way to shut you down.
Yeah.
That is such a the institution. It is the man telling you to get out. That is exactly what that was. Like, you have full right. We want to hear what you have to say, but unfortunately the sun's going down and you can't stay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I felt like that rhymed. First of all, there was like a rhyme somewhere.
It's a good poem, yeah.
You're welcome.
And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Dahani on the chat said about the whole megaphone situation.
Yeah.
Again,
now it sounds like we're on Blue's Clues.
The professor grabbed it from Cherie, and Cherie takes back and then is escorted. And she's like, that's not fair.
Yeah. Well,
definitely.
Morello wasn't going to get arrested. The question is, what does this do for Cherie? What happens to her?
Yeah.
This story was, again, not based on incidents that happened at Kansas City, but inspired by real events that occurred on college campuses all over the country.
Don't forget it.
I felt like that was a good place to put it.
That was.
See, that would have been a good place to put it. Even at the end of the episode, what a good place to put it.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. I'm glad that Daphne's finally being told to shut up and be put in her place. Because that was necessary.
Yeah.
But she's always trying to fix things.
I know.
Babe does the same thing. They both do.
Yeah.
Girls.
There was someone earlier, I don't know where, but...
I don't know where. Where
Greg
are you?
said, it's very rare that Daphne makes me angrier than Bay in an episode.
I feel like that's what we should have done when we started this after show, was put a who was worse tally, and at the end of the show go, who was worse?
He also put Sigh.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
Yeah, agreed.
These girls, they're ridiculous. Any other thoughts on this episode before we head into prediction? Yes?
Greg says that Daphne being told to butt out is about 4 seasons overdue.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, remember when she would like stick her nose into Cherie's business with her mom?
Yeah.
When she tried to have like her mom committed or put in rehab or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah,
Everybody's
Daphne,
business.
For
Shut
good
up.
reasons, but
She means well, but I'm glad that we're like going, hey, check your privilege. Check your privilege. Because it's necessary. I love that this show takes real issues. I love it. I love this show.
I know.
Yes?
Since an ace isn't all fairness, Bae sticks her nose in everything too.
Oh, well, absolutely. We're not.
Yeah,
that's why I felt like this was a Bae storyline. Felt like Bae. All right, let's head into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
My AfterBuzz TV predictions. Oh my goodness. So if you're in the chat, start predicting away. Becca will keep an eye on that. Next week, the hunger strike continues. Cherie and Iris are supported by Regina and told that they should talk to a reporter. They should get their story out. It looks like, at least from the promo, Daphne stops speaking for them. That seemed nice. Iris goes down, faints maybe. I don't think this is a prediction, but this is what I would do if I were these students and I were part of this and the argument was you're not allowed to camp out. There's no rule on campuses that you can't be somewhere, right? So like if I were on the campus and it was 3 a.m. and I was sitting on a park bench in the campus, I don't think I'm not allowed to be there at 3 a.m. So the argument is you can't camp.
Yeah, with the tents. So
with the tents, or they have to just stay awake now. So now the school is basically going, you want to do a hunger strike? Well, now you have to do a hunger strike and not sleep. And I think that is such a, like, they kept saying hunger strike, it sends a message, it means more, it gets stuff done. Hunger strike without being allowed to sleep, the school is going to do something.
Yeah.
They're going to be forced to do something, and I think that's how you fight this. Which, if they do see that logic, then I think Iris faints because she isn't eating or sleeping.
Yeah, and just for the record, I'm just imagining this in my mind. I can barely go without lunch, so I can't even imagine going on a hunger strike.
I
Like,
agree.
that would,
Yeah.
that's just hard in itself. And I mean, like, I get the cause, and I don't want to minimize this at all, but food is just so good.
Iris is also like a really
I'm hungry now thinking about food.
Iris is a really like tiny girl.
Like, there's only so many days that you could go without eating.
One on that girl's body.
I know.
I was thinking also about that, and that when I don't eat, I get very mean.
Hangry. That's
Yeah,
a thing. That's a real thing.
It's not a medical condition, but it is a thing.
It's a real thing.
I get very rude. So I imagine that if I were there, I would be shouting profanities through the megaphone.
Yeah. Brr, brr, brr.
Yeah, that's what it would sound like on Freeform when I shout profanities. What are the chat predicting, Becca? How hungry they are?
No.
I'm hungry. Gisela says that Bae will get a chair in the tattoo shop. Not related to that, but
Oh,
They will get a what?
Bae will get a chair in the tattoo shop.
because her work is covered.
I think, interesting thought.
Which means
on
she'll
the
have to
prediction.
get a permit.
Right, so like maybe she'll go and get the legal stuff done. If she gets a chair in the tattoo shop, I think the only way, basing on that prediction, I predict that she will only get it by threatening Noelle because Noelle's stealing. Yeah, I'm putting those predictions together.
Yes. Going together.
What else we got?
Aaliyah, Travis will get angrier. Catherine will fight back.
Travis will get angry. And
Angrier.
Oh, angrier.
Yes. Chris will continue to be a dick. That's my prediction. He still looks great. We're not arguing.
He does look great.
He is a good-looking man.
He's buff and tall.
And should take his shirt off. But you are all about the sound effects today.
Hi guys, I'm here for noises.
But you're also doing very specifically Blue's Clues sound effects.
Maybe you have that in your. Did Blue's Clues have a have a megaphone? I thought there was going to be a picture up there.
There definitely was that sound. We're about to hear some Blue's Clues sound effects.
Bring it on.
What do we got?
Let's see how close I was.
Nope. Okay.
Oh,
go
that
on.
was fun. That just sounds like fart. Oh, excuse me, guys.
Just so everyone knows, we're watching apparently Blue's Clues sound effects.
On Switched at Birth After Show.
No, I want to hear like the jingles and stuff from Blue's Clues. Look for the jingles. This is necessary for our predictions.
It is.
Apparently.
I wonder if
Any more
anyone
from
in
the
the
chat?
chat is agreeing with my Blue's Clues sound effect sound.
Yeah, that's a real issue here, people.
On the Chris topic, Gabriel earlier said that he hated Chris and asked if how John couldn't hear him bad mouthing Travis.
See, I don't think John cares that Chris is bad mouthing.
Right.
Travis.
He has a good player. That's what he's looking at.
Right. He doesn't. As long as
He's
Chris
blind for
doesn't,
that.
hurt anyone in any way.
Right.
I definitely thought that Chris would join Iris's fight, and I think that would be an interesting story, and I want to see that happen, especially because then it affects the baseball team, which apparently the school cares more about people's feelings or sexual they don't care about feelings or sexual harassment than they care about baseball. At least I got
Baseball's
the sport
important
right,
in life,
guys.
you know?
Can we be impressed that I know what sport that is?
Very
You're
proud.
welcome. I knew it. Okay.
Greg says it looks like Chris is the one that gets tackled by the policeman in the preview.
Oh, so in the preview we do see someone getting attacked, and Greg thinks that it's Chris. That's interesting. I thought it was someone we didn't know, but it could be Chris. If that's the case, then Chris joins the fight. I'm adding and putting it together. Guys,
Pieces
if
are
you're
coming
not watching,
together.
you're missing my hands. I like when you make fun of me. It's great.
I'm not making fun of you. Pieces are coming together. That's what I'm
making fun
doing.
of
I'm
me.
not making fun of you.
Stop making fun of me. You're
not.
bullying.
I'm going to come after you. I'm going to touch your necklace next. Watch out.
I believe it. Things are getting heated in here, guys. Yeah, so I think if Chris gets tackled by the security or police or whatever, then, because we saw that it was Bay and Travis who were there. So Travis and Chris are going to become friends. That's over. And then Chris is going to join Iris in the fight, and he's going to threaten to leave the school or not play baseball. That's it. He's not going to play baseball. Guys, Yael predicting up in the house. Making
You are
stuff
on
up.
a roll right now. I'm loving this.
What's real
loving
fun
this
is
role.
when I'm real wrong. I love it.
Alicia says that she predicts Iris will be okay, but that it may finally get the attention of the college.
Yeah, that'd be an easy, freeformy thing to do. It's possible.
Yeah.
But,
It
I
is
mean,
very
we still love
likely.
your prediction.
No,
We're
no,
not dissing it.
I'm sorry, I'm not dissing your prediction. I'm dissing
just-
freeform.
Yeah.
Which Kelsea is not, because she worked for them. She is not dissing them.
I'm not.
Yael is. Hire me, freeform. Okay.
I would still like to work in this industry. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I love freeform, but it's
Yes,
like a
Becca
freeform thing.
loves freeform.
I do.
Everyone
Any
here
other
loves
predictions?
Freeform.
I like Hashkin's comment that Bay is going back with them, and even though I don't think it's the right time.
Yeah, I
that's
think
happened.
I think it will. I think that's where we're headed. I think that's happening, regardless of what we want.
I don't think it's the right time right now. but-
Here's a question. Do we think Melody is gonna be furious at the tattoo?
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
just
just
thought of it. You just thought, what?
What did you think?
I just remembered that she's in the whole storyline.
Yeah. Remember Melody?
That whole thing, you know,
Yeah,
mom.
that whole thing.
I think Travis will get so angry at Emmett. Travis is gonna tell Melody. That's what I think. I think Travis is gonna do that.
It's good.
Right? That's a good.
prediction.
Thank you. That's also a very free-formy thing to do.
That is.
Okay.
Awesome. Final thoughts from the chat? Is it that I'm beautiful? Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone's saying that. Just,
Good.
there were some comments about the Blues Clues thing.
Yes.
And people were saying
that's fun.
that it
Totally
was
sounds
Blues-
like it. Yes.
Clues.
Woot woot.
Good job.
You know, just tying TV shows together.
Yeah, stop watching Blues Clues all day.
Well, I just
Oh.
watched that all day,
Yeah.
and then I came here, so.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
Chris is arrested and Travis gets the spot from Gabriel.
Ooh.
And then ruins the game.
Oh.
That's what would happen, right? Chris
But
gets
he played
arrested
with a lot
twice.
of heart.
Right, but also fails. Because he could absolutely be in better shape. I say absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because he didn't even have a six-pack.
I know.
Girl.
That was the one nice thing, or the one good thing that Bae was trying to do, was be a good girlfriend.
Yes.
That's where I'm going with that.
Okay. Absolutely awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the Switch to Birth After Show. We just finished talking about relations of lines and colors. We will be back next week, but until then, you can find our voice of the chat, Becca B Talks TV, on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
Yes. Also, she is on all of the Freeform shows, not all, but most of the Freeform shows, and Dance Moms.
But that just ended, well, the mid-season
Just kidding.
finale.
She's not on
I
Dance
am on
Moms.
Dance Moms, but
Retract that statement.
But Shadowhunters,
Beyond.
oh, that's a
which is
show as
rapping.
well. Yeah,
That is a show.
great. So keep up with her, Kelsea
Hey, guys.
Hightower,
I'm Kelsea Hightower.
and Kelsea Highwater.
Yeah, well, no. But you can find me on social media at Kels Hightower, and on the other after show, Superstore. Super fun.
Nice. You can find me, I'm Yael Tygiel at Yael Tygiel, YAELTYGIEL. I have other shows here on AfterBuzz, including Legion, which is tonight. I won't be on it tonight, so watch it next week. SVU tomorrow. I won't be on it tomorrow, so watch it next week. Gay Weekly Roundtable. I won't be on it tomorrow, but I will be back next
God,
week.
do you ever work? I'm just kidding.
Sorry, guys. At least I'm here for Switch to Birth.
Yay!
Also, the Grimm. We're in the final season of Grimm. That's Sundays at 5. I will be here for that one this week. Thanks, everybody. And I have a podcast. It's called Intimate Interrogations. Sometimes it is filthy, so if you're under 18, I suggest you not listen to it. And sometimes it's not filthy, but still, if you're under 18, don't get me in trouble. Yeah, we'll see you
Nailed it.
next week, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
From executive producers...
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.